Princess Eirika, are you well? Princess Eirika!
Oh, Seth?
Yes, it's me. Please, you must rest. If we continue like this, you'll...
No, it's alright. We're all suffering. We're still completely surrounded by Grotto's armies. We may all die at any moment. I can't lose focus now. Has anything changed?
Unfortunately, no. On every front, our forces met with defeat upon defeat. Rusted knights are scattered and worn, and the enemy is closing in around them. And this accursed sand. Most of our units can't get proper footing and are being slowed down. Mounted units are having the worst time, as their movement is severely limited. Princess Eirika, I ask that you leave for safety. We'll use flying units and magic users to hold the fort here.
No, I will not retreat. If I give up now, my brother would not forgive me. I'm the Princess of Rhaenys. I will fight, either to victory or to death. Brother,
Walter, you should stop playing around. If you don't finish off Eirika's forces swiftly, her brother's left the capital. He should be arriving here shortly. You don't want to be fighting her still when he arrives. Trust me. We are equals here in Grotto's army. Would you like me to assist?
all you need to do is vanish, you disgusting old man. Eirika is mine. I won't let you have her. She's so strong, so beautiful. She's the prey I've dreamed of.
Your fangs are still sharp, eh? Good. Very good. Ah, Walter, you're a beast. You're bound to no country. You care nothing for friend or foe. Kill a man, claim a woman, you live for nothing more, you wretched beast. That's your strength. That's what makes you stronger than any man alive. A beast acts without remorse. Man's morality cannot win. It's nature's way. The stage is yours, Walter. Do not fail to get the girl's bracelet. Our master demands it.
The time is nigh, Eirika. Come to me!
And with that, we begin Chapter 15. Hi everyone, Cendril here. Welcome back to Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. We can take 12 units with us. Now, this is a very deserty map. Flying units will work really well here. Also, magic users will work really well as well. That is because they do not get slowed down by the sand. The people that are hit the hardest by this are your mounted units, like Seth said. They will have their movement quite drastically cut down. From 8 to far, far less. To 3, maybe 4. They're gonna lose a lot. Of course, Eirika is forced. You have 11 other units you have to take, but 11 other units to take with you in this. What is a highly difficult chapter, and probably even more difficult for Eirika than it was for Ephraim. Ephraim gets a break between chapter 14 and 15, which I didn't remember. Eirika does not, so you just have to go right from 14 straight into 15. You don't get a chance to go level up. You don't get a chance to go get additional supplies, so I hope you were prepared. Before we pick units, we have a lot to go over, and quite honestly, this is going to be more than likely just a video of prep, because there is a lot to go over here. Your party starts over here. You have a couple of mercenaries with iron blades. and a Berserker here. Be extremely careful of the Berserker. 13 strength, the Dragon Axe gives plus 12, effective against Wyverns. Do not bring Cormag over here. Also has a hand axe. Berserkers act like the Swordmaster boss we just fought. They get plus 15 crit, making them highly dangerous because they have a higher crit percentage. Plus, Berserkers typically hit really hard too. They have higher strength because they are the upgrade, one of the upgrades to the fighter class, or pirate class, like Ross is. It's the pirate class, making them very dangerous. Berserkers are a great unit, not one you want to be facing, however. Try to kill it from range or in just one single hit. Don't give it a chance to swing back. But you're going to have to deal with this guy here. When you start to go down, there are a couple of Wyvern Riders over here, 5 to be exact. A few of them have javelins, which is what I was going to say, but they all have at least a steel lance. The 2 bottom ones have javelins. There is another Berserker over here. This Berserker has the Devil Axe. If the Berserker crits, which it has a decent chance of doing so, there is a chance the Devil Axe will backfire and you hit yourself, basically, with the full power of a crit. If the Devil Axe backfires, you are more than likely dead. The soldier will drop it. I will not be using the Devil Axe. There's that. This shaman here has a guiding ring I would like to steal. He also has an Eclipse Tome. This is the long-range dark magic tome. Range of 3 to 10, cuts enemy HP by half if it hits. Stare at the hit percentage of the tome. Yeah, if it hits. It is dangerous. If it hits, it's probably not going to hit. There is again, a guiding ring that you probably want to steal. We'll get to Walter in a moment. Yes, Walter is here. He is surrounded by more Wyvern Riders. Again, steel lances, a few of them have javelins. Be careful. You have some Myrmidons here. Mercenary, Iron Axe, Iron Axe. Okay, let's get to some of the more fun things. And Cavaliers with steel lances. There is a Paladin here with a silver lance. He doesn't have the best stats in the world, but he does have that 8 movement and a silver lance, which does not weigh him down, but he only has a speed of 8. But it's a silver lance, which does give him 23 attack power, making him dangerous. Be careful. You also have a few Rangers here. I believe we've seen Rangers before. They use both swords and bows. They are an upgrade you can choose for the Archer class. They have steel swords and steel bows, both of them. And okay stats, but it's the fact they have a bow. Be careful of your flying units, like Tana here. You have a Troubadour with a Physic and Min staff. Watch out for the Physic staff. It could heal up some units that maybe you were damaging. And this Troubadour has a Sleep staff, which puts you to sleep for several turns. When you have the Sleep status effect, the unit does nothing. It just sits there. Pretty annoying. Also a Min staff. That's all here. All right here. An Iron Sword, an Iron Axe, and an Iron Axe. I think I went over those. Again, we'll come back to Walter. There's still much more of this map to cover. A couple of mercenaries with iron blades there. There. This shaman has a Luna Tome that actually drops, so that could be something you're interested in. Now, if you watched Ephraim's route, you know Ephraim showed up over here. This is where his, this is where you start with his campaign. And up here was Eirika and a couple of other people. Well, now the opposite is going to happen. Eirika starts up here, and Ephraim will show up as reinforcements in, I believe, just one turn. I believe after the first turn, so the second turn. Ephraim will show up with a few people and act as reinforcements. One of them may not fare well here. The other two will. You want to send one of the 3 that comes over here to this village, and that is so you can get a Master Seal from it. The Master Seal acts like a whole bunch of other class-changing items in one. It acts like the Orion's Bolt, the Hero Crest, the Knight Crest. It acts like a whole bunch of class change items in one. So it can be very useful in case you end up being short of a certain one, like you're using a lot of Cavaliers, for example, and you needed another Knight Crest. You could just use the Master Seal for one of them. Pretty useful. Moving back up toward Eirika, there's a Steel Axe, Iron Sword, a whole bunch of Iron Sword users here. Guy has a hammer, be careful, and some Iron Axes. Couple of mages with Thunder Tomes, we'll get to you in a second. Couple of mages with Thunder Tomes. Now, to win this map, it is not just kill the bosses. You have to wipe out all the enemies. That includes the massive amount of reinforcements that are going to be showing up. You will have Pegasus Knights from the top here that you need to worry about. Be careful of those. You will also have, after several turns, some reinforcements will show up here, and Ephraim will have his hands full. Excuse me. So, there's that. The reinforcements can be dangerous if you don't know they're showing up. And there may be a few more reinforcements that I'm not even remembering. By the end of it, you're gonna be fighting close to... Oh, also some Cavalier reinforcements show up from these, I believe. You're gonna be fighting close to 80 units, I believe, when you include all the reinforcements. You're in for a long haul with this map, so be on your toes. But wait, there's more. We have to go over the bosses. They could be very difficult, especially for Eirika and her group if you don't have anybody really class changed and ready to go. Kalei, the Tiger Eye, is here. He is a hero. Seasoned veterans with remarkable skill, equipped swords and axes. Vicious general in Grotto's army, he's better known as Tiger Eye. The bosses don't move, so you don't have to worry about that. What you do have to worry about is their really good stats. Kalei really is a hero. He has good stats across the board and really high strength. He uses axes. He has a tomahawk, which does weigh him down by 1. The tomahawk is, as you can see, a ranged weapon. It is the really, really big version of the hand axe. This is an A rank axe. He has the other A rank axe in the form of a silver axe, which gives him 2 more might than he does with the tomahawk, and is not slowed down by the silver axe. So he will have 13 or 12 speed depending on what he's using. The thing is, with his 19 strength, using either of these gives him an attack power that is really high. 32 for the tomahawk, yes, the tomahawk, or 34 for the silver axe. Dangerous. Because the tomahawk you can throw at a magic user and laugh if he hits. He has a decent amount of crit as well, and that's just from his luck here. But really the thing that makes him so difficult is his good stats across the board, his high strength, and highly damaging weapons. Now, if that wasn't hard enough, he has a special item with him, as you can see, the Hoplon Guard. I'm going to steal it. Yes, I know he drops it, but I'm going to steal it, and I'll show you why. The Hoplon Guard negates enemy critical attacks. That's right, while Kalei has this, you cannot crit him. Period. He cannot be hit by a critical attack. Not great. That is not good for you. If you steal it, then you can hit him with a crit. And then either way, you'll get the Hoplon Guard for yourself. It works just having it, so it's whoever is carrying it has that effect. They cannot be hit by critical attacks. So, there you go. Hoplon Guard, really good. Calais has it right now, though. Very bad. Since I'm right here at the vendor, before we go to Valter, who will probably be the last enemy that we kill. That's just kind of how it works out. I go after Calais first, and you'll see why when I go over Valter. Items here for sale: Thunder Tome, Elfire, Shine, Divine, Flux, Heal Staff, Mend Staff, Restore Staff, Elixir, Volinary Elixir, Pure Water, Antitoxin. Some really good, really good books here. Thunder and Elfire for your mages. Shine and Divine for your light magic users. Divine is really expensive, as you can see. Really expensive. 3,750. But we can make that price lower. I'll show you how. Might 8, hit of 85, 12 weight, so it is heavy, but it does have 10 crit, 2 more than the Shine Tome, and 2 more might. It can be useful. But it is expensive. So is the Elfire Tomb, even at 1,800. Everything there's expensive. House here you can visit just for some information. Alright, let's go over Valter. Valter is a Wyvern Knight, Wyvern Riders who can pierce enemy defenses. You know how I went over everything with Tana and the Wyvern Rider and the pierce skill? Guess what? He has that. Which means he has a 13% chance of just completely ignoring your defense. Not great. Valter, a general in Grotto's army, this cruel man is known as Moonstone. He has no luck for whatever reason. Whatever the reason that is there, but he doesn't, so which gives you a good chance to critical hit. Unfortunately, his other stats are really good. 13 defense, 12 resistance, 17 skill. This is what can hurt. 17 speed. It's hard to double Valter. Also, 19 strength. And he has 11 constitution. He doesn't move, so don't worry about the move. But he also has 19 strength, giving him a ton of attack power. Even more so because his weapons are scary. He has a spear, which we got one last map. So if you remember, it is the really big version of the javelin. 12 might, 70 hit, 10 weight, even has 5 critical. But it has 12 might and he can throw it at people. Very scary. Of course, that may be the better course for you, because if you get in up close, he likes to pull out his killer lance that he has, giving him 30 crit. It has the 10 might. If he crits you, you're probably dead, because that has a strength and attack of 29. You're going to have either a lot of defense, well, you're going to have a lot of defense and enough HP. Also, if he crits and Pierce goes off, you're dead. You have no chance, because he's going to do 29 times 3. Was that 70? 77? No, sorry, 87. 87 damage. You're not soaking that. Nobody in the party is soaking that. So, yeah, that equals death. Also, to make your life more miserable, he has the Feely Shield, known in some other games as the Delphi Shield, an amulet that protects flyers from arrows. This, he drops, but while he has this on, flyers cannot, you can't shoot him with an arrow for critical damage. I believe you can still do normal damage, but it'll act just like any other attack. You don't get that 3 times might from it, which is what makes arrows so deadly to flyers. He's immune to that. However, you can steal it, as long as you have enough speed to do so. At least 17 speed. You have to have at least 17 speed. If you do, guess what? You can steal it. He's going to drop it either way, and then you can shoot him if you steal it. Guess who's going to get the Feely Shield after this is over? Okay, but wait, there's more. This being the kind of obligatory desert map that's in Fire Emblem games, because that happens. This is not one of the worst ones, to be honest, but it is really long. Not as long as some of the other ones. Oh, trust me. There's an old Fire Emblem where that desert map. More on that some other day. This being the desert map, though, there are hidden goodies. Hidden beneath the sands. I believe this house will tell you so. And be like, oh man, I want to go excavating for stuff. No, it doesn't say it that way. It's either that house or this house. But basically, there are hidden items here. Some of them are things you can find later or you can buy. Lots of them, however, are not. Over here, I believe it's this 2x3 area. Yes, I'm using a map for this because I don't remember exactly where they all are, and we're not going to spend 100 turns here in the desert. 100 plus turns here in the desert. So I have my handy dandy map with me. Here is a killer bow. Now, all characters have a chance of finding the item when they step on the right space. So, for example, if Seth were to ride down here and step in one of these spaces, he has a luck plus 1% chance of finding the item. So, in Seth's case, he has a 16% chance of finding the item. If he doesn't find it, next turn he can just move a space. He may be able to just stay in the same space. I always forget. But he could move to another space and see if he finds it. If he doesn't, he can move back and forth until he finds it. Luck plus 1% chance. You're thinking, oh, Cendril, this could take forever. Yes, but there is one thing that can help you. Thieves and rogues have a 100% chance to find items. Why? That's just in their job description. Eye for riches. There you go. And of course, the rogue is just the upgraded version of the thief. So, thieves and rogues have a 100% chance of finding the item. It's what they do. They step on the right space. Ding! Item. I don't know if I'm not going to take Calm because he doesn't have the speed needed to steal from Walter. So I'm actually going to take Renak instead of Calm. He failed me. I'm just going to be flat out. Calm has failed me. On really both sides. I think the Calm on Ephraim's side is better, but he's not. There's just a little bit of stat difference. Like this Calm got some speed, but no strength. It's just been bad. Got pretty unlucky. So we're going to be using Renak. Renak does have enough speed to steal from Walter, because Renak has 17 speed. Base. He should. He better. Yeah, there it is. 17 speed base. Which lets him steal. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget. There we go. So Renak will be running around grabbing items for me. Here. Or let me go over the items. Kind of stopped by that. Here is the killer bow. Over by this skeleton. In this really big area. All by this skeleton here. There is a worm slayer. So yeah, you could use that. That's funny. Or if you steal the shield and give this to a good bow unit. That's funny. Killer bow, crit. Let's get to some of the... Those are kind of items you can find lots of places. Let's get to some of the better stuff. Over here is a body ring. We like those. Gives +2 constitution to the unit that uses it. Over here, in this tiny stretch of land... Let's see, right here. Not up to the bone, right before it. Cut it right here. Here to here, there is a silent staff for your use. You can grab that. All around Calais, plus the spot that he's standing on, one square in every direction from Calais, plus the square he's standing on, there is a warp staff for you. You'll want to grab that. That's pretty cool. One thing you surely want to grab is by this skeleton right here, kind of all around there, is the Swift Soul item. Whoever you give that to gets +2 movement. You can give it to a slower unit to up their movement. If I had a knight, I would make that. But a unit, for example, like Garrick with movement 5, and increase it to 7. That's very deadly. You know, very, very useful. Or you can give it to a super fast unit and have them go zoom over to the other side of the map with double-digit movement. The choice is yours. But it's there, and you definitely want to grab it. Over by this hand here is the Metis Tome. You may be wondering what that does. The Metis Tome you give to a unit, any unit you want. Preferably a unit that does not have a lot of levels. For example, Ewin. For me. You give them that item, and they get a +5% to all of their stat growths. So if they would have a 70% growth in something, like HP, it becomes 75. And that's across the board for every stat for that unit. Some people will take a unit they really like. I'll just use Ewin here as an example. Basically take a journeyman unit, like Amelia, and not use them at all until they get the Metis Tome, and then use the tome on them to give them just that little extra chance of getting better stat growths. And then proceed to the Tower of Volney and level them up to catch up to the rest of the group. That is something that people do. And it's not a bad choice, especially if you've played through the game at least once and you know what you're doing. You know how the fights go. You could definitely do that. Over here by Valter, in this stretch of land, is an Eclipse Tome. So you could get an Eclipse Tome for yourself, for a dark magic user to use. Pretty neat. Alright, I saved the best for last. At least in my opinion. It is the best thing here. Up here, in this corner. So you can either fly up there with the unit, or if you have a rogue grabbing everything, it'll be right here. There is an item called a Silver Card. Silver Card is very, very special. It cuts the price of everything in half for the person carrying it. So, for example, let's pretend Eirika is carrying it. If she goes into the vendor here, everything for her is half price. The Elfire Tome will cost 900. The Divine Tome will cost 1875. The Heal Staffs will cost 450, 750, 1,500, etc., etc., etc. for all the items. If you're going to shop here at this vendor, grab the Silver Card first, and then have fun shopping. The Silver Card is amazing. Make sure you grab it. It'll really help you buy more of everything. That goes for any shop that character walks into, including secret shops. And there's one a few chapters from now, which I think I went over last chapter. So if Renek was carrying both the member card and the silver card, they could get into the secret shop, and everything there is half price. Very useful. That is all the treasures for this map. That is also pretty much doing it for this episode, because that took close to the half hour that I try to make episodes. I fail at that a lot, you've probably noticed. But, there is just so much to this map. There's Calais in this corner. There's Walter over here. There's reinforcements that will be showing up in a lot of places. You start completely surrounded, and you'll have Ephraim showing up. You have, like I said, the bunch of reinforcements. Calais, Walter you have to deal with. Grabbing all the items. There's a lot. We'll dig into it all next time. We'll just jump into the map. I'll kind of outfit everybody to some extent. Decide who's going to come along on this mission here. Renek, Eirika, and 10 others. I can tell you that. One last note. I did this on Ephraim's route. And if you're not watching that, you're just in the future, you're just watching Eirika's route. Watch Ephraim's route too, because it's pretty interesting. At least watch this mission, this chapter for Ephraim, because Joshua can actually have a talk with Calais when they fight. They fight, but before the combat starts, they have like a little back and forth, and it's super cool. I really like it. I believe Cormag can have a talk with Walter. Unfortunately, I didn't level Cormag here, and I didn't do it on Ephraim's route. So I'm not going to be showing that off, but I'm pretty sure Walter and Cormag have a talk. But Cormag won't survive, so because I haven't leveled him up. Pretty sad there, but that's how it's going to have to go. The reason I take out Calais first is because I steal the Hoplin Guard, and then whoever fights Walter is going to equip that. That way they don't get critical by a Killer Lance. Because I typically use a melee unit against Walter. It's just the way it goes, because he has way too much attack power for a lot of the mages who typically don't have a high enough defense to take the hits. So there's that. I don't know who's going to be fighting the bosses yet. We'll see. Again, all that and more next time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun. There's just so much to go over with this map in particular. It's a very lengthy map. Also, this is where the two paths merge, with Ephraim showing up or Eirika running out of the hall if you're playing on Ephraim's route. So either way, this is where the two siblings meet up, and this is where the two stories merge and become pretty much the same. I think there's little differences, but after this, the two stories merge. What is going to happen to Eirika's route, you may ask? Because I picked to do Ephraim's, if you remember the choice, and I said, oh well, I'll show off Eirika's stuff. What's going to happen after this chapter? Well, you'll have to stay tuned until I beat the chapter, and then I'll tell you. Until then, and we start the chapter, I'm Cendril 9. Remember to shoot for the stars, and take care, everyone.